Sports Payoff. I'm Kasper. This is Whit. Today we're going to start off with a hot topic of a video that's circulating the World Wide Web, and by that I mean international play. Whit, it's the video spoof of Brett Favre. Favre, what should I do? Watch, it is hilarious.
What should I do? Should I admit that I've made mistakes? Should I remind you that I've done this before?
Should I give you a history lesson?
What should I do? Should I tell you how much fun we had? Should I stay retired? Maybe coach high school football?
Tommy, completions are way more awesome when you force them through triple coverage. Remember that.
Should I hint at coming back next year?
Should I be really cryptic about what I actually mean?
What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
Should I show my dick to people? Want to see my penis?
Brett Favre's dick, my purple helmet? Or should I tell you?
I am not a role model.
I'm a jeans model.
Seriously, what should I do?
Should I send pictures of it or I can use Viagra? Cialis?
Should I be who you want me to be?
Should I accept my role
As the creepy old guy?
Looking good, Toots. Maybe I should just despair. Then I could change my mind a couple months later. I could reappear. Then I could despair again. Then I could reappear again. What should I do? Should I just leave voicemails instead of dick pics?
Hey Jen, it's Brett. Had a meeting today. That ended.
What should I do? Maybe I should Google image search for big dicks. Just text those. Say it was mine. Yeah. That'll probably work. What should I do? What else should I do to stay in the spotlight? Should I end the video now or let it run for another 6 minutes? Let me rephrase that. If I end the video now, would you watch it again? What? Keep me in the spotlight a little longer. I'd really appreciate that.
Bad to the bone.
Want to see my penis? Purple helmet? My private jet? My pubic snake? My Peyton Man thing? My Adrian Penison? Want to see my Danny Woodhead? That's not even a joke. I just think he's a good player. Like, name my penis after him.
Whit, what did you think of that video?
You know what? It's pretty indicative of what's happening in his life. It's absolutely hilarious. It makes fun of the Jen Sturger thing. It makes fun of him trying to come back, retire, come back, retire, come back, retire. The penis stuff's hilarious. Can I say penis?
You can say penis.
I love saying penis. But yeah, it's hilarious. I thought it was...
Just for the record, you can also say Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead.
You can say Danny Woodhead. It is great.
Yeah.
It is literally one of the best videos I've ever seen. It's making Canada airwaves here on TSN and The Score. For those who aren't Canadian, those are our national sports channels like ESPN. So definitely watch the video if you haven't already. On that note, Whit, let's switch over to the baseball scene here.
Baseball.
Let's talk about the Jays' recent unloading of Vernon Wells.
Huge trade.
They got rid of him to the Angels for Mike Napoli and Juan Rivera. But more importantly, they got rid of his $8 billion contract.
I think it was $86 million, but it does free up quite a bit of change. It enables them to go and look for that third baseman that they want and to offer that bigger contract to Batista, which we were talking about last week. I think it's a good move. You know, Wells has done a lot in the 11 or 12 years he's been with the Jays. But, you know, I think it was getting old and it was time for him to move on. And the Jays are trying to go to more, like a youthful, more, you know,
Wells has been a great Blue Jay.
Yeah.
He did not deserve the contract he got.
No.
I mean, nobody deserves that kind of money.
One good year and he gets that kind of contract.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. This is a great move, not necessarily because who they get in return, although Mike Napoli is quite serviceable. He can play catcher, first base, DH, whatever.
Yeah.
But as you said, it frees up a lot of cash. They can sign multiple players for the cash that they're going to be saving. You know, it opens the door for the future. The rebuilding process got a lot faster with that. So
I also heard the Angels actually sent cash with those two players as well. So
Wow.
there's two players plus cash for Wells. So
that's a steal.
I think Anthopoulos is a genius. You know, like,
yeah, he's done well so far.
Yeah, for sure.
And we got rid of Rios as well. Big cash burden.
Another gets in one good year and he gets ridiculous money. You know, it's all JP Riccardi. He was a horrible GM and Jays almost went in the tank because of it. But this guy's doing well, so I like it.
Yep. I was looking up the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. We're switching topics now. They've got something like 9 or 20 draft picks, I believe it was, out of the first 2 rounds for next year's draft. They're loaded beyond compare for the future, and they just signed Manny Ramirez and Johnny Damon as stopgap measures. So where do you think that puts them? Boston has had a massive offseason. Does this equal Tampa with them, or does it at least pass the Yankees? Where do you see them?
It doesn't pass the Yankees. The Yankees could sign nobody and still be ridiculously good. They're usually near the top, if not challenging for the wild card. Boston, like you said, has done absolutely ridiculous this offseason. Johnny Damon's a good, like you said, he's a good serviceable player. He'll do well. I think Manny Ramirez is a ridiculous.
Damon is great on the base paths.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw what he did in the playoffs, and when he stole second and then stole third because nobody was covering. Essentially, got him a free run, kept the thing going. He's decent at the plate, terrible in the outfield. His arm is like a limp noodle. Yeah. I think my dead grandmother, rest her soul, could throw farther than Johnny Damon. And Manny, when he's on, can rake. I don't know, he's not on the female growth hormones anymore, so I think the steroid thing might make him not the hitter he used to be, but he's still obviously one of the best all time at the plate. So
I don't see it panning out. I don't like the way Manny reacts with certain teams.
But Tampa Bay, though, Joe Madden, he's a laid-back kind of guy. They have fun. It's a kind of an easy-going culture. Manny could thrive there.
Depending on certain elements. I've seen Manny on several teams. In Boston, first few years, he was awesome. Then everything went downhill. Same for the Dodgers. First couple of years, he was awesome. Then the steroid thing kicked in. Then he became a distraction. They were talking about the Jays wanting to sign him, and I thought, no, because he's a distraction.
Might put butts in the seats, though, if he signed with the Jays,
exactly.
So that couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah, I think it'll all depend on just how the year pans out. Like you said, maybe it'll be relaxed, and maybe they'll do well. I don't think this puts them above Boston and New York, though. Not at all.
Depends on whether they get good Manny or douchebag Manny, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. I was reading an interesting article on SportsIllustrated.com, SI.com. Stu Hackle has a little blog there on the NHL, and he's bringing up the issue of NHL contraction, or more or less, he's bringing up the issue of the NHL season. There's a lot of head injuries this year. So should they cut the season a bit short? Are players getting hurt because the season's too long? What do you think?
You know what? It's a universal argument. It's over the years and years and years they've talked about it. The fact of the matter is every year players get injured. It happens. It's going to happen every year. You make it shorter, it's still going to happen. You make it longer, it's still going to happen. I don't see the reason why you do it. I think it's good. I think it's ridiculous that you go from maybe October to June, but I mean, it's been like that for years and years and years. I think maybe what you do is maybe you make the playoffs a little shorter. Maybe the first couple rounds are 5 instead of 7.
Head injuries, more specifically head injuries, are on the rise. The issue isn't the length of games. As you said, they've been playing that way for years. The issue is that, in my opinion, there's two things at hand. Is that, A, the lack of respect that people have now in the league. They don't really care that, you see a guy prone or whatever, they take him out, whereas before you might let up, you didn't necessarily finish that check. Now they're just nailing everybody. And B, it's a combination of guys are bigger, faster, stronger, combined with the newest technology. Looks like they're wearing armor out there.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, you can't have a guy skating at 50 miles an hour with a guy with his head down and just ram him full force. It doesn't matter if you cut the season short to 40 games. Guys are going to get hurt.
Still going to happen.
The NFL is brutally hard-hitting. Guys, it's the most physically demanding sport there is, and hockey is a close second. And guys are going to get injured in this sport.
It happens.
It's not soccer.
No.
Now we're going to move on to that contraction thing I kind of let slip there. The Atlanta Thrashers claim $130 million in losses over the last 5 years. Can a team like the Thrashers or any team struggling with attendance really survive in this economy, this market?
You know what? I've been watching a lot of games recently. I've noticed good teams playing in Dallas, Detroit, really good teams that you like to watch. They're not getting a good turnout, and attendance is a huge issue in the States. Not as much up here, big time in the States. Teams like Columbus, teams like Atlanta, teams like Nashville, they're losing money every year, and their attendance is, nothing like Vancouver or Calgary or Edmonton, where you get these buildings sell out, and the teams could be playing badly, and they're still selling out. So I think it's necessary. I think you need to get rid of a couple.
Contraction is necessary.
Yeah, well, not even contraction as much as maybe relocation.
Relocation?
You take a few of these teams like Atlanta, let's say Atlanta and Columbus, these teams in the past, well, I think most of these teams came in the year 2000. I could count them 10 times maybe on both my fingers, or both my hands, sorry, how many times these teams have been to the playoffs. It doesn't happen. They're not good teams. Maybe put a team in Winnipeg, put a team in Quebec, maybe put a team in Moncton, you know? Those buildings would sell out day in and day out, all the time.
I'm a fan of both, actually. I'm a fan of contraction and relocation. I think they need to get rid of 4, 5, 6 teams, something in that area. You know, even keep the conferences and the divisions, you know, the same team,
Even, yeah.
you know, even, yeah. And then relocate a couple more. Because as you said, you know, attendance issues are brutal. You know, a lot of it is the economy. I mean, attendance in Detroit isn't what it used to be.
No.
But we all know the Detroit market, you know, the job economy and everything. Detroit just, you know, isn't quite the same as it used to be. And that's one of the best run franchises in all sports. So the economy is the biggest factor. But yeah, you know, you don't need, 17 billion teams in Florida. I mean, you got the Panthers and you got the Bolts. I mean, how many teams do you need in Florida?
Well, you got to keep in mind there's other sports there too. There's football, there's basketball.
It's a massive.
Some of these sports intermingle.
Even the Miami Heat aren't getting sold out attendances. People are showing up late and leaving early. It's just